Absolutely. That line has to be drawn, and that line has been drawn, at least in terms of words. We've seen that, Channy, as far as Mr. S Jaishankar, the highest perhaps at the level of which diplomatically this can be taken up with any country. But are we going to be seeing action? This has been taken diplomatically with Canada in the past, with other countries where we've seen these kind of instances happen as well.
Well, Mr. Jaishankar is very, very right in highly condemning the attitude of the Canadian government. But they must know that they are dealing with a very, very strong sovereign. We won't let them to play with the sovereignty or territorial integrity of the country. I am wondering, even the people over there, 99.9% they have gone for living and for the betterment of their own prosperity. They are not really concerned, but some elements which are being encouraged by the Trudeau government especially, they are raising these kind of issues. But I must say and tell them again that once it's going to burn their house as well, because these guys are not going to spare them. And back home, there is no issue. We are from Punjab. There is nobody talks about this kind of Khalistan, and what kind of Khalistan they are talking about. Let them identify the territorial parts of the which maybe in the Pakistan, maybe in the Afghanistan, as they call it, the regime of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. So what nonsense they are talking? Half of the Punjab has gone to Haryana and Himachal, and even Chandigarh is union territory. Whatever is left, they are going to spoil even that, and there is no support of any kind. But the Canadian government, they are not bothered about the letters of regulatory and even other kind of requests, and they are just playing to the vote bank politics. But ultimately, it will definitely burn their own house, because with the murders which are being are taking place, maybe of Niger, maybe of many others, and especially their crash. I don't know what kind of people they are. They are known for civilization. What kind of behavior they are rendering and encouraging these kind of activities, which no human being on this earth will really support or promote. I think what is wrong, I don't know what is wrong with the Trudeau and his administration. This is not going to be taken very softly, and it won't be really tolerated. And we are making human and genuine requests that please look into all this and don't let if they have any issue, let them come home. Let them raise these issues. Nobody is bothered about all that. And they are letting, rather, one day I was having a discussion and I told them, if you want a Khalsa, why don't you have it there? You are living there, your children are there, your road, everything is there. You have it, and they have plenty of land available. But what kind of issues you are raising? Maybe it Pannu, maybe Linda, maybe Broad, whatever. So they must learn some lessons from these activities, and they must, as a civilized nation, they should support the Indian government and its concern.
And like Mr. S Jaishankar pointed out, that it has impacted ties between the two countries, that see each other as allies. That is something that should be a cause for concern for the Canadian government, Charan Singh Sapra, isn't it? But this has been going on for far too long. It's not just Canada. We've seen this happen in several other countries, including Australia as well. Why do you think we haven't been able to nip this in the bud? Why do you think pro-Khalistani elements feel that they can actually get away by doing things like this?
See, to some extent, Mr. Jaishankar is correct by saying that it is a vote bank politics, because rightly, if I may remind you, that Mr. Trudeau is running a minority government which is supported by National Democratic Party. And this National Democratic Party is headed by one Mr. Jagmeet Singh, who is a Khalistani sympathizer. So naturally, Trudeau will be, bending towards this National Democratic Party, and hence he doesn't want to take a severe action. But on the part of Indian government, I would like to say that mere lip service is not going to work. I would like to give you 2-3 instances now. Like on 2nd June, the NSA of Canada, Mr. Jody Thomas, he openly criticized Indian government. And he warned the Indian government by saying that don't meddle into Canadian affairs. This is our internal matter. So how can it be an internal matter when they are talking about Khalistan? The Indian government or Mr. Jaishankar or the NSA, Mr. Ajit Doval, should have reacted. They never reacted to it. Now, Mr. Terry was talking about the Air India bomb blast, in which 323 people died and 22 probably crew members also died. The Canadian people, they had a march to commemorate the death anniversary of the killer, death anniversary of the terrorist who bombed that Air India flight. That was the worst ever terrorist act happened in 1985. They celebrated it. Indian government did not react. So there are so many instances happening in Canada month by month, but Indian government is not reacting to that. Mr. Jaishankar has definitely reacted today, but I treat that as mere lip service, and lip service is not going to work. On other hand, we are seeing there is a Indo-Canadian sort of gang war going on there. Mr. Niger has been shot. Mr. Jimmy, there's another Gunda, Jimmy Sandhu. He was shot dead. Every week there is some shoot going on over there, and people have been killed. So these are the issues which are linked to India. These are the issues of concern. Indian government should take it on a global platform. We should treat this as a global terrorism, act of global terrorism. We should see that from where the funding is coming to them.
Sure.
The funding needs to be tracked and stopped.
Sure. More needs to be done by the Indian government. Ms. Channy says, the opposition says, the Congress party, that yes, this is one step in the right direction, the kind of words that S Jaishankar has used, but it shouldn't stop at just words. We need to see action is what the opposition says.
Absolutely, he's right, and you are right too. We are not going to leave it there, which is just a one-to-one kind of concern and sharing the the kind of deep deep wounds which we are having. But it will be definitely raised at the level of UN, and it will be a global issue for the other countries as well. And we have the kind of action which has been taken in case of UK, where Indian mission was attacked. And similarly, they should be thankful to Mr. Modi, who has cleared the blacklist. These guys were not in a position to, most of them, to visit back home India. But he was so kind and they cleared. But again, I think they are attempting to that we have another blacklist so that these people are brought to book. But ultimately, these people will be definitely brought to book, and our agencies are very active. Maybe NIA, maybe RAW and all. They won't be really spared, and we are going to have them back home.
That's really the hope, but it's easier said than done.